Tonight on News 5 Live, Dr. Leroy Almendarez has suddenly stepped down as CEO of the Social Security Board. Meanwhile, the Feinstein Group is set to appeal the High Court's decision to dismiss their claim against the government for the compulsory acquisition of Stake Bank. In political news, Marconi Leal Jr. will be taking over from his father as the PUP's candidate in Belize Rural North. And in tonight's episode of Belize on Real, we introduce you to Ronald Stewart, Belize's longest-serving blood donor. These stories and more are coming up after a word from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
Good night, Carlos. Can you tell us what happened here?
Yeah, I was in my living room getting ready to watch game, then bang, current gone. When I went outside, my current come back, and I see why. A crate of glowing light hose was connected to my breaker. Then I turned around and I see this well-dressed man leaving my yard from where the crates are.
Really?
Come see for yourself. Bro, I just as confused as you, but current come back and game day on.
Thank you, Carlos. Well, viewers, you heard it here live. Well-dressed man, glowing crates of lighthouse. Studio, back to you.
Thank you, John. What a strange turn of events.
We'll be sure to investigate this further.
Until next time, viewers.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, January 30th. I am Sabrina Daly. Dr. Leroy Almendarez has unexpectedly left his role as Chief Executive Officer of the Social Security Board after a short stint. His sudden departure comes without any explanation. Interestingly, News 5 interviewed him just a day before the announcement in his capacity as CEO. Today, the SSB issued a statement welcoming Jerome Palma as the acting CEO and expressing gratitude for Dr. Almendarez's contributions during his brief tenure. Dr. Almendarez also shared a farewell message saying, quote, "Leading the Social Security Board, an organization dedicated to social protection for Belizeans, was a pleasure and something I embraced with vigor. Being welcomed by the management team and staff across all 9 branches is something I will treasure as we worked together in service to all," end quote. The board wished him all the best in his future endeavors, but no reason was given for his quick exit. Back in August 2024, when News 5 interviewed Dr. Almendarez shortly after his appointment, he spoke passionately about the importance of his role.
In terms of transition, I must say that understanding the role that Social Security is supposed to play in our society, I mean, the United Nations, really basically said it's a human right when it comes to social protection, when it comes to creation of employment and skill building and those kind of things, and the fact that you should be able to participate. So for me now, it's really moving into a situation where I think I have an understanding, but it's until you enter the organization then you get a full understanding. But for me, like I said, one of the major things where it's concerned, SSB is concerned, is the fact that it's contributors' money. It's employees, it's employers and employees' money. If you work for yourself, it makes it even more challenging.
In a pivotal decision on Wednesday, the High Court of Belize delivered a verdict that's set to impact the future of cruise tourism in the country. Michael Feinstein had taken the government of Belize to court, arguing that their plan to forcibly acquire 23 acres of Stakebank Island infringed on his constitutional rights. After a 4-month legal battle, Justice Rajiv Gontileki ruled that the government's intention to acquire Stakebank Island does not violate the Constitution. As a result, the High Court dismissed Feinstein's case, giving the Briceño administration the green light to seize the land for public use. Tonight, News 5's Paul Lopez dives deep into the twists and turns of this case and how we arrived at this critical juncture. Here's the full report.
On Wednesday, the High Court of Belize made a significant ruling in the case brought by Michael Feinstein against the government of Belize. Feinstein challenged the government's plan to forcibly acquire 23 acres of Stakebank Island, claiming it was unconstitutional. However, the court found that the government's actions did not violate any constitutional provisions. The Briceño administration had announced its intent to acquire the land back in August 2024, and now, with the court's decision, they have the green light to proceed. This ruling marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing saga of cruise tourism development in Belize.
As you all know, there's a legislation that was passed by the UDP, whereby we deem this project of national importance. And now that it seems that between the different investors, they have been having issues, that project has been at a standstill. We have, I think, approximately $270 million. But because there is a dispute between with the land, that project cannot be finished. And if you look at the numbers for the cruise lines that they're going down, we need to be able to finish that project. We believe that as a government, what we did is first to put the first notice of acquisition. What does that trigger? It triggers then the owner to come to government and to say, okay, this is my land, and they negotiate a price.
The Feinstein Group didn't hold back in voicing their objections to GOB's plans. They accused the government of siding with the OPSA Group, a Honduran company financing the project, which later got entangled in a legal dispute with Feinstein. The Feinstein Group also claimed that the government of Belize couldn't prove that the land acquisition was in the public's best interest, As a result, the acquisition had been put on hold.
The end goal is vindication that the 23.4 acres standing in his name, which was issued to him by the Minister of Natural Resources, he validly holds title to it and it is lawfully his.
The Briceño administration presented the compulsory acquisition to the public as an attempt to resurrect the cash-strapped multi-million-dollar tourism project to save Belize's cruise tourism industry. Just days before the High Court's preliminary hearing, Prime Minister John Briceño dropped a bombshell on Open Your Eyes. He revealed that Mediterranean Shipping Company, one of the giants in the cruise and shipping industry, was keen on taking over the project. This announcement added a new twist to the unfolding drama.
They're saying, well, no, we'd be interested, but we don't want to get into this mess. The only way we'd be interested if this mess is settled and we buy over them. So that the only way we can do that is by compulsory acquiring the land.
That is why we're in court, because our instructions, the instructions from our client is that he does not believe that it is for a legitimate public purpose and for and a number of other grounds. And so his position is he intends to challenge that. Without the land being vested in the government, it can't be transferred to MSC or UPSA or State Bank or anybody else.
Well, after nearly 4 months of deliberation, High Court Judge Rajiv Gunatileki delivered his verdict. He ruled that the compulsory acquisition of State Bank Island is not unconstitutional and aligns with the idea of acquisition for public purposes. The Feinstein Group couldn't substantiate their claims, leading to the dismissal of their case. The ruling is a significant win for the Briceño administration. Looking ahead, the future of the project is intriguing, especially since Prime Minister Briceño recently announced plans for a similar development just a few miles away at the government-owned Port of Belize Limited. What will this mean for cruise tourism in Belize? Only time will tell.
I do believe that by the end of the next government, we should have a cruise port and a modern container port.
So does that mean State Bank is dead?
That's not for me to decide.
But I'm saying that there's no sense in having two mega cruise ports in the Belize district within miles of each other.
But we all knew that State Bank was short-term or to medium-term investment.
Earlier this week, that latest statement by Prime Minister Briceño received heavy criticism from Michael Perifit, the chairman of the UDP.
Sometimes I don't think he appreciates that he is the head of government for a sovereign nation, you know. By saying that this is only temporary, what has he done? He has essentially killed that project with his words. Because how do you go to cruise lines and say, come somewhere that's only temporary?
Interestingly, on January 14th, during an appearance on Open Your Eyes, Tourism Minister Anthony Muller was asked which port project in Belize he thought was the most feasible and practical to complete. He threw his support behind State Bank. Muller also suggested that both State Bank and the Port of Belize Limited could coexist harmoniously in the same area.
That would be State Bank, if I would look at it honestly, because that's the closest to being completed. We're working on a master plan for Port of Belize, which should be completed in March. And then, but that has two components to it, cargo and cruise. And they can work together.
Belizean investor Michael Ashcroft, who owned the Port of Belize Limited, has weighed in on the State Bank situation. He expressed his doubts about the government's true intentions for the island, adding another layer of intrigue to this developing story.
On something like State Bank, what's the plan? What do they need State Bank for? Is it a temporary measure? Is it a permanent measure? So until they sort that out, nobody knows what is going to happen on that. Nobody knows if there are secret understandings or arrangements. But at the moment, everything appears to be flat.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The Feinstein Group is set to appeal the High Court's decision on the government's compulsory acquisition of land on State Bank. They see this ruling as just a temporary setback and are confident they'll win the appeal. In their release, they stated, quote, "As a Belizean company that has invested in State Bank for the past 20 years, we knew taking on the combined forces of the government of Belize, Atlantic Bank Limited, and the Honduran bankers would be a long and tough battle. But we won't give up the fight for justice, fair play, and what rightfully belongs to us as a Belizean company," end quote. The Feinstein Group believes compulsory acquisition is unconstitutional and not for a genuine public purpose. They've instructed their attorneys to immediately file an appeal. The release ends with a strong message that the Feinstein Group will use all resources at its disposal to, quote, "defend itself and expose the wrongdoing of the government, wherever it may lead," end quote. On Wednesday, we found out that Marconi Leal Sr., the Belize Rural North Area representative, decided to not run for a second term. According to a PUP release, he's stepped back to focus on his health and personal life. The party said they would consult with the constituency committee to find his successor. Well, it didn't take long. Just a day later, a flyer featuring a photo of Leal and his son, Marconi Leal Jr., confirmed that Leal Jr. would be stepping into his father's shoes as a candidate in that constituency. Leal Jr., one of two CEOs in the Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs, was initially appointed CEO in the Ministry of Transport, Youth and Sports, before being transferred to his current role. Coming up, what's the plan for accepting deported Belizeans?
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make your purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Belize City, Blue Creek, and Spanish Lookout on February 8th, 15th, and 22nd respectively. All participants will get free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love your Honda. It's all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
Energy powers our lives, and now we're powering a sustainable future together. This January 27th and February 3rd at 7:30 p.m., tune into the Energy Exchange Show, your guide to understanding Belize's journey towards sustainable energy. From solar power to electric mobility, learn how we're creating real solutions for everyday Belizeans. With topics like e-mobility and licensing regime, this show is designed to answer your questions about Belize's energy transition. Join us to see how we can all play a role in building a brighter, cleaner Belize.
This is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Cooking just got easier with Kent Oils, your go-to choice for every dish. Available in 3 sizes and 3 great options: vegetable, corn, or canola oil. Perfect for frying, baking, sauteing, or grilling. Kent Oils deliver the quality you trust with a clean, natural flavor for all your cooking needs. Conveniently available at stores near you. Exclusively distributed by Unitex Company Limited.
Tonight we bring you a shocking story involving 2 Belize City men, Oliver Sutherland, also known as Spooner, and Erlin Smith. Back in March 2021, they kidnapped a 15-year-old boy and subjected him to horrific torture. They stood on his hand, cut off a piece of his pinky finger, hit him with a broom, and shocked him multiple times in the chest. The mastermind behind this cruelty demanded to know who sent the boy to find him, keeping the minor captive for hours. This morning, Sutherland and Smith appeared before Justice Derek Sylvester in the High Court after entering a plea bargain. They pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of wounding, having initially faced charges of kidnapping and wounding. The judge considered the new sentencing guidelines and the facts of the case, which included the brutal details of their actions. On March 13, 2021, the duo intentionally and unlawfully wounded the minor, kicking him in the stomach, punching him in the face, and burning him with hot wax. The entire ordeal was live streamed on Facebook until a knock on the door allowed the boy to escape. He was later treated at KHMH for multiple injuries. The police investigation led to the arrest of Sutherland and Smith on March 14, 2021. Initially charged with kidnapping, they were later also charged with wounding based on directives from the DPP's office. The judge considered the aggravating and mitigating factors, including the young age of the victim and the severity of the violence. Although the victim has since died from an unrelated incident, the court did not overlook the gravity of what the men did. The judge sentenced Sutherland to a 2-year suspended sentence, meaning he must stay out of trouble for 6 months or face imprisonment. He was also ordered to pay $2,500 in compensation to the victim's father. Both men, having served time on remand, walked out of court as free men and shared positive messages for the youth of Belize. The Trump administration is moving forward with deporting individuals they consider undesirable.
Oh no, doom and gloom. Jules, you know better than I do. 1 criminal gone, 5 more grow up the next day. That's not how this works. Migration has happened since the 70s and 80s, continues to this day. And I know you need a reason to explain away the numbers, but Jules, this is a fact of life. And yes, we have to prepare ourselves for the deportation.
What preparations are we speaking of in terms of being able to perhaps deal with those who have a criminal past in the United States and are sent back home?
Well, we are going to deal, Isani, with whether they have a criminal past here in Belize or if they are pending charges. For instance, I believe Ellis Main is one of them. If there are others, then we will, if there is enough evidence, then those individuals will be charged. And so the police department obviously has a roster of these individuals that they will be keeping an eye on and, if necessary, charge upon their return.
Despite rumors, the government of Belize has made it clear that they are not opening borders to non-Belizean deportees. However, Prime Minister John Briceño has warmly welcomed all Belizeans back home. Supporting this sentiment, Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner assured that there are jobs waiting for the returning deportees.
Well, I'll say, like what my Prime Minister said, we welcome them back. We have a lot of vacancies here in Belize. Jobs. Employers need workers. And so I will echo my Prime Minister. We welcome them back.
Does the Commissioner of Police's job depend on which political party is in charge? And does his term end when a new government takes over after a general election? Compal Williams, who took office under a UDP administration, is now 55 and holds the record as the longest-serving top cop in Belize's history. But the big question is, will he keep his job if the People's United Party wins the next general election and takes over?
Were the PUP to win another term, should the Commissioner of Police be reappointed or be continue in his appointment, or should, if a new PUP government is elected, should that government seek to have a new Commissioner of Police?
Well, the post of the Commissioner of Police, and I'm sure that the Commissioner will explain this to you, he has up until the age of 55 to retire. He has indicated that he wants to offer himself in other areas of public service, perhaps politics. I don't know where his mind is at in terms of that, but I see it as continuing, and so while it is that the Commissioner reserves that right to continue, I believe that in the new administration it's just going to be obviously a seamless transition.
The Trump administration has put a hold on funding for several projects under the Central American Regional Security Initiative. CARSI has been a key player in boosting Belize's national security by donating vehicles, equipment, and providing law enforcement training. With this funding freeze, what impact will it have on the Ministry of Home Affairs?
Upon assuming office in 2020, we got a huge donation of motor vehicles, the Comstat building, the Comstat office, equipping with our computers, very state-of-the-art center. And so that perhaps was the biggest contribution of CARSI in our 4-year term. I know that 2 weeks ago we had a donation of 9 vehicles, but only six are for the police department. And so we're very grateful to the U.S. government and to CARSI for those donations. Obviously, in our crime fighting strategies, narco trafficking, interrupting narco trafficking, we will need more resources, and that's something that our government will have to fit the bill, obviously, or we can rely on external partners like Taiwan. But in the meantime, to answer your question, I would say to some extent it will be missed.
After the break, Good Samaritan donates 102 pints of blood in 30 years. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Who is the real UDP? Is it Shine Barrow's UDP or Tracy Panton's UDP? Nobody knows, not even Omar Figueroa. First he was with Shine, then he was with Tracy. Now he's back with Shine. One big joke. Omar Figueroa was a UDP ghost in Cayo North. He did nothing when he was in power, and for sure he can't be trusted. If he can't even be loyal to one UDP leader, he will never be loyal to the people of Cayo North. Don't even waste your vote. Reject the UDP ghost. Omar Figueroa and the UDP are done. Digi is bringing the power of connectivity to every corner of Belize with our Digi on-the-go mobile store.
Ma, Digi dia.
Digi dia? Don't say. Sign up for the fastest, most reliable home fiber service, purchase the latest device, or explore our wide range of services. This one-of-a-kind mobile store has it all. Our dedicated team brings the same high-quality in-store experience to you, ensuring you stay connected with friends, family, and the world.
You guys bringing the mobile here, it's really helpful, saving a lot of money for people going from the town, especially like in Punta Gorda, which is 25 miles away from here, which will cost a couple dollars for them to reach there. So having these caravan here, it's a lot easier, it's a lot cheaper, and you know, people are taking advantage. As you can see, we have a lot of people coming out today to purchase some of these devices, top-ups and even postpaid that they're eager to have, no?
Digi is connecting Belize one community at a time. Look out for the Digi on-the-go mobile store with exclusive deals and offers in a community near you. Follow us on our Digi Facebook page to see where we will be next.
Digi, our national telecom.
The Streetlight implementation plan is to replace the high-pressured sodium lights, better known as HPS lights. These HPS lights will be replaced by the LED lights. Therefore, LED streetlights advanced optics can fine-tune the distribution of lights, ensuring better coverage of the roads, roundabouts, parks, businesses, public area, homes, etc. The feedback have been great. We get positive feedback from the community when it comes to the improved brightness and light quality which LED provides by means of visibility and safety, especially at night.
Before the LED lights was installed, it was kind of dark, you know. Most of the time you have to look and check. But with the LED lights now, you can see from far.
I like it because it's a nice bright light, because the customer feel much safer to come to the shop.
From the LED lights now that BL had put, it improved a lot. Well, the difference is that they look way far clear.
Well, I must say thanks again to BL on this one, because actually our nice improvement also, it bring up the mahogany, because the mahogany is one of the active street in Belize City, and also I live back at Gongolong, and when I come off work, it's just a bloom. Nice for me now. When I go home at night, I can see clearly.
The main objective this year is basically to change out 16,000 HPS lights. So the street light replacement will occur at every respective zone. For example, Central, Belize District, North, Orange Walk, Corozal, West, Cayo District, South, Tancric District, and Toledo District. We have started some years back with the street light replacement project, and the 16,000 will account for the 100% that we need to complete on the distribution system.
Bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Tourism is the backbone of economic growth and community development. However, success in tourism development requires more than just a vision. It demands responsible planning, strategic partnerships, and adherence to local regulations. To support developers and investors, the Belize Tourism Board, BTB, would like to remind that every owner of a prospective hotel or tourist accommodation must apply for and obtain registration from the Registrar of Hotels before commencing construction or development. For those who have already commenced construction, please contact the BTB at hotels@belizetourismboard.org to request and submit your registration form for new development. Together, let's build the future of tourism.
Blood is essential for every living person. It plays a crucial role in delivering oxygen and nutrients to our bodies and defending against harmful microorganisms. In medical emergencies, a shortage of blood can be life-threatening. That's why having a steady supply of blood donors is so important for the health of our community. In tonight's edition of Belize on Real, we shine a spotlight on Ronald Stewart, a remarkable Belizean who donated his 102nd pint of blood earlier this month. News 5's Brittany Gordon brings us his inspiring story.
7 years ago, I was diagnosed with anemia. My doctors told me my hemoglobin level was at a 6, less than half the average level for females my age. At just 17, I had to undergo a blood transfusion. The hardest part of this ordeal wasn't the large needle or the long hours at the hospital, but finding willing donors. If it weren't for the generosity of Samaritans like Ronald Stewart, my life might have turned out very differently. While he wasn't one of my donors, Ronald has donated an incredible 102 pints of blood to the Belize National Transfusion Service over the past 30 years.
My first donation was in July of 1995, and my most recent was earlier this month. And I can give only once every 3 months. And it has been something that I am committed to do as long as I'm able to, because there is a need, and we need to have more persons who are willing to assist. Because from time to time, we'd hear about persons making appeal for blood donations, but blood can only come from other human beings. So we need to be a part of making sure that the adequate supply continues to be available.
Stewart's journey as a blood donor began when a few co-workers encouraged him to join them in donating. Hearing heartfelt gratitude from families in need inspired him to dedicate his life to this noble cause. Nowadays, his phone is constantly buzzing with texts and calls from strangers desperate for blood. And whenever he can, Stewart is always ready to step up and help.
One was a foreigner whose father was in a Carl Hirschner. And it so happens when I came, the nurse told me that someone with your name, the spelling was different, was looking for somebody for blood, but didn't know anybody who could give. And so I told her, I said, okay, I'll give on behalf of that person. She told me afterwards that that person literally cried because we have the same sounding name. And when she was experiencing a need and seeking blood for her father, I showed up.
Stewart suggests keeping a list of at least 5 people in your contacts who are ready and willing to donate blood on your behalf. This way, you're prepared for any unexpected health emergencies. Adrian Martinez, the supervisor at the Belize Blood Bank, assures us that becoming a donor is a straightforward process.
Usually, we request for blood donors to have a health status, a clean health status, right? You need to be healthy, no medications, and we do ask some questions for travel history, and then any immunization. The questionnaire is divided into 3 different sections. Most of the donors needs to be 18 years old and above, up to 65. You need to have a valid identification card. The questions the nurse here at the blood bank will do the questions. Depends on your answers, then you might be temporarily deferred or permanently deferred.
The blood bank uses 4th-generation tests to screen for HIV, all subsidized by the Ministry of Health. Stewart treats every donation as if it's his first, always making sure he's in the best possible health to give blood. He even revealed that he hasn't touched a soda in the last 15 years.
First and foremost, being very active. Not necessarily going to the gym, but being physically active. I do a lot of walking. I signed up for the Million Steps Challenge that the Belize Diabetes Association has initiated. And so between the 2nd of January and the 16th of April, the challenge is to complete 1 million steps or 500 miles. So I have embarked on that. That's one way. Eating very healthy. Minimizing the carbohydrates, drink a lot of water, and adequate rest.
Each year, the blood bank collects around 7,000 units of blood, which accounts for less than 5% of Belize's population. Belize aims to reach a point where 100% of its blood supply comes from voluntary donors. this goal is crucial for maintaining a safe blood system and offering various services at different locations.
When we go recruiting for voluntary blood donors. That means the blood we collect is donated free to the blood bank so that we could help others. You can be a voluntary blood donor. You don't really have to donate for someone else because the emergencies strike at different times. And it is our mandate to have blood in reserve for the general populace. So by donating voluntary, you are helping someone, you're providing a safe blood supply for our country, and then you are doing your part as a Belizean. No?
7 years after my blood transfusion, my hemoglobin count is a healthy 13.7, and I've even become a blood donor myself. Stuart, the interim president of the Belize Blood Donors Association, is a true champion of this cause. When he's not busy donating blood, he's out there encouraging others to join him in the life-saving mission.
In most instances, the day that I'm here to give, I'm already thinking about the next 3 months that I'm scheduled to return and look forward to it, because it is so critical for viewers and those who are listening to this newscast and this piece understand how much we have a role to play in making sure there's an adequate supply. Somebody has to do it. And why not that person being you?
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
An officer stationed at the Governor General's residence has been fired from the Belize Police Department after shooting and killing the GG's small but feisty dog. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams explained that a tribunal reviewed the case and recommended the officer's dismissal. But this raises a question. Why don't other officers face the same consequences when they shoot and kill pets during operations? Here's what Compal Williams had to say about it.
The matter went before a tribunal. The tribunal found him guilty. Dismissal was recommended, and I upheld the decision of the adjudicator. I believe that, and I'm sure that the public in a whole is going to agree, that if you have a policeman who deliberately follows a dog and shoot and kill the dog, something wrong with you.
But hadn't there been diary entries about this dog being a fierce little dog, and he tended to give the officers who served duty there, tended to give them trouble?
Even if that were the case, at the particular moment when the dog was shot, that was not the case.
Sir, but did you pay special attention to this case? Because it's a head of state, because we know that when the puppies were killed or the dog was shot, Nipsey was shot, not killed, and they shot one on Pixox Street. Those officers aren't dismissed, sir?
Again, Jews, you have to look at every situation based on the facts, the circumstances under which they occur. And in all the cases you mentioned just now, the circumstances are different.
The frequent downpours in Belize City have left many streets in dire need of repair. Today, a resident from the Penn Road area reached out asking the Belize City Council to assist those living in Waller Alley. This alley, located off Penn Road across from the basketball court, has turned into a large pool of water due to the constant rains. Jevon Ramklam, a local resident, mentioned that school children have had to get creative to navigate the flooded alley until it's fixed. Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner acknowledged the issue, stating that the rains have taken a toll on the infrastructure. He assured reporters that the council is working hard to address the flooded streets, potholes, and drains as quickly as possible.
So notice whole I don't some of the whole I through the alley there so too. The morning when the got young picnic will live through there too. When the picnic they come out for go to school they have to walk barefooted. It mess up, you really mess up. Then we got people about they will do here all kind of things. Nobody want to walk through that if we go do their hair or nothing. So we really need help.
Okay. So what do they do to navigate through the mud and the swamp?
They walk through it, they're not no next choice, no next option. If you notice over there, so that one rubber boots over there, so.
Okay, so they leave their shoes and their rubber boots there and walk?
Rubber boots there, and then they put out the tennis when they reach and go to school, what's not. when they come back, that's the same thing. I will take off their shoes and walk through it.
Okay. How many families would you say live back there?
About 10. Well, I say 10, yeah. They go way the back. Because our alley live way the back they go. Yes, ma'am.
And you live back there too?
I live across the street, but like I live back here, because it's a back here there nearly every day.
We are completely looking at how we change the way we address drains maintenance, chopping of grass, potholes. We know that the current system that we have in place has not worked. It does not work for the residents of the city, and we are very we are aware of that, and so we are working on a new system which will be really powered by GIS, where we'll be really dividing up the entire city, north side, south side, into different grids. We call them grids. 24 such grids have been identified. And what we'll be doing, we'll be having dedicated teams for each grid. So you'll have chopping team, you'll have pothole teams, you'll have drainage maintenance team within the scope of each grid, and they will be dedicated to that area. So it provides accountability that if I am in this area, I become familiar with the terrain, I become familiar with the residents in the area, and it is more responsive area. But again, one of our priority areas is drainage. That is key, and so within the scope of this area, we'll be ensuring that we focus on infrastructure, potholes, having decent streets, ensuring that the drains are clean and maintained in a timely fashion. That is very important for us.
Would you consider new sidewalks?
Sidewalks, again, everything is on the table. Safety of our residents are always important. We not only worry about the motorists, but we always worry about the pedestrians, the kids. And so if we have to put sidewalks in certain areas, we certainly will look at that.
While discussing Belize's garbage dumping hotspots, the mayor mentioned that the council is still cracking down on littering. He pointed out that finding evidence of these violations can be tricky, so he urged residents to report any offenders or help by snapping photos of the act in progress.
We have enforced on several occasions in Belize City. It carries a hefty fee and if caught in the act. But it's a joint effort between the DOE and the Belize City Council. But we have done enforce that on several occasions. But you have to have the real evidence, so it's really require participation from the community as well. If they see people dumping, if they could quickly notify the officials or enforcement team or the DOE, and then we could have that evidence to really ticket them and really pursue it the way we want to.
When we return, DOE approves Keycocker Fuel Depot project.
been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
How can a precision-engineered and sustainably made tire change your world? A tire that gives you strength and safety when you need it most.
What we learn on the track, we innovate
For the road, bringing next-level quality and reliability to every drive. At GT, we believe our tires can deeply improve the driving experience for each and every one of us, whatever our goals. Enjoy driving. GT Tire.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last. My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors. Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers. Hussein, we are perfect. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick.
Last month, residents in a Keekalker neighborhood voiced strong opposition to the proposed construction of a petroleum station and fuel storage facility near their homes, citing safety concerns. At the same time, the Keekalker Tour Operators Association came out in support of the project. Elvis Landaveri, the managing director of the Petrol Alliance Group Holding Company Limited, quickly reassured residents in an open letter, stating that the project had been thoroughly researched and strategically planned. The Department of the Environment has given the project the green light. Today, environmental technician Marco Escalante told News 5 that the company had to meet all the necessary requirements.
Because of the location, the tanks were also required to be within a vault. Well, are required to be within a vault. The setbacks for a service station for tanks within vaults above ground would be 15 feet from the property line. Sorry?
They met all the requirements, you're saying?
Yes, based on the guidelines, yes. But so even after we look at the plans and what's not and go through the guidelines, we still have to wait for the fire department to know it because they might have some concerns with the location or what's not. However, they did provide no objection on October 13th, like I said, 2023. And thereafter, we proceeded to draft an environmental compliance plan. The environmental compliance plan, as you may know, has several conditions within the document that they have to abide by during the construction and eventually the operation of the service station. This would be basically the ECP would establish, how many tanks will be there. They have to be within a vault. They have to have all water separators, etc., and meet whatever criteria, whatever guidelines, whatever recommendations the fire department also require.
Back in 2018, when the Belize City Council first took office, they acquired a fleet of new vehicles to help their departments get around more efficiently. Fast forward 6 years, and those vehicles have seen some significant wear and tear. The fleet, which includes both diesel and electric vehicles, is now being traded in for a brand new set. Mayor Bernard Wagner announced today that the council is investing $1.2 million in this new fleet.
When we came into office in 2018, we only had like two pickup trucks to facilitate service for the city, enforcement, traffic management. And at that point in time, in 2018, we made a loan for 12 trucks for a 5-year period. The trucks really did well for us. They performed well over that period of 5 years, but they deteriorated and depreciated over time. And so as to not have them depreciate to the point where you don't get back anything, what we have done with the existing trucks is trade those back in, and in return get these 12 new pickup trucks. 7 of them are diesel and 5 of them are EVs. And so with the trade-in value that we took in, it really lessened the amount. But the total value here, the 12 pickup trucks along with the 3 4-ton utility trucks, really run us about $1.2 million. We'll deploy in enforcement, we'll deploy in traffic, we'll deploy in works, we'll deploy in sanitation, symmetry. All of these core departments require the sort of mobility. And so and it's made no sense for us to have vehicles that are run down. You spend a lot in maintenance. So it's always good that you are able to trade in and get new equipment, which really take down operational costs.
Residents of Belize City have noticed that some traffic lights, especially those on Vernon Street, are frequently out of order. Mayor Bernard Wagner explained that the lights were in perfect condition, but reckless driving has caused the damage. He shared more about the council's plans to fix the current lights and install more across the city. Here's what he had to say.
Vernon Street, if only our residents begin to drive with care, we would have less of these problems. Every time we fix that light, somebody drive and broke down the post. So that has to stop. And the residents have to be held accountable at some point in time to be held accountable to pay for the damage they cause to public property. Because it creates an inconvenience for the residents. And see, you all are now coming to us. If that individual didn't crash into that traffic light, we wouldn't have had that problem. But again, accident happened. And so that specific light is run by the MIDH, right? But we have met with them we have gotten a quotation to really get that fixed up. And so I believe very shortly that will be resolved.
And about the new lights?
The new lights are all working very good. The one on King Street, we are waiting to have the area painted properly and marked so that we don't have any issues there at King and Region.
Are there plans for more?
Of course there are plans for more. We are looking at that area by Vernon Street in the afternoon time. I think we are not, we have to work smarter rather than harder, and having an enforcement person standing on Vernon and the canal side every day is not smart. And so we do plan to put a light there to really really manage that area. We look at Western Avenue and its intersection with the George Price Highway. That's another area that we are looking at. And so we never stop. We are very strong and a smart city, and having manual labor, we have passed that now. We have to be smarter.
Up next, Japan donates second garbage truck to Belize City.
Social Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSD, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
At Belize Signs, we turn your ideas into reality. Whether it's billboards that command attention, banners that set the stage, or car decals that make a statement, we've got you covered. From lighted signs that shine in the darkest nights to magnetic signs that are easily interchangeable, we offer a wide range of options like billboards, banners, vehicle decals, lighted signs, magnetic signs, acrylic signs, metal signs, PVC signs, aluminum signs, vehicle wraps, vinyl prints, 3D lettering, awnings, wall murals, and a whole lot more. We're not just sign makers, we're brand enablers. Visit us today.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Belize City is about to get a facelift. Thanks to the government of Japan, a second compactor truck has arrived to help tackle garbage management. This generous gift is part of the Japanese government's grassroots and humanities security project, which kicked off in November 2022. This new truck joins the first one donated last February, and together they're set to make a big difference in keeping our growing city clean and beautiful. News 5's Marian Ali was at Memorial Park to capture the moment. Here's her report.
The brand new compactor garbage truck, generously provided by the government of Japan, will join the first truck they donated. Councillor Kaya Katus, who oversees sanitation, says this powerful equipment will help make those messy spots look much nicer and more appealing.
The arrival of this second truck marks an expansion of our capacity to meet the growing demands of Belize City. Last year, when we received the first compactor truck, we immediately saw the difference it made, not only in the efficiency of waste collection, but also in the morale of our hardworking sanitation teams. We were able to tackle more of the hot spots, effectively reducing illegal garbage disposal and extended pileup of trash along the garbage collection routes.
Japan's ambassador to Belize, Nobuyuki Shirakata, shared the practical reason why the donation was necessary for the rapidly growing city.
Japan's consistent investment in Belize solid waste management is bearing fruit and enabling the Belize City Council's existing facility to become more efficiently operational to provide reliable collection and waste disposal service for the population of over 60,000 residents in the municipality. Annually, 21,665 metric ton or over 66 metric ton daily of garbage waste is earmarked for collection.
Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner says the trucks will handle the extra work that isn't covered by the garbage collection contract between the City Council and Belize Waste Control.
Having two trucks now to provide that service along with our dump trucks really have us operate much more efficiently and effectively. We provide that sort of back end for those areas that people just dump garbage in areas that are abandoned, and so these two trucks really help us in alleviating that sort of behavior in our city.
The compacted trucks will transport the waste they collect to the Belize City Garbage Transfer Station off the George Price Highway. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.